All right, you ready? Go ahead.
Go ahead, UAV.
Hello, UAV.
Alright, UAV fell asleep. Okay. Alright,
Yeah.
thank you all for joining. Thank you, well, not all, right? But thank you, Sewer Camp, Kenny, UAV, even though you're not here. Appreciate all you guys showing up. This is actually our seventh episode, our lucky seven episode of the Regiment podcast. So, you know, first I'd like to just start out thanking you guys for showing up. I appreciate y'all being here. I know this is probably Sewer Camp's first time being in this podcast, and it's always a good chance to learn more about how we do things in the podcast and what kind of things we do around here. So, welcome, welcome, Sewer Camp, and Kenny. Obviously, you're a veteran of
Yep.
the podcast, right, Kenny?
Oh
So
yeah, oh yeah.
you've been around the block.
Time or two.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Kenny's been in the park already, so I think most people know Kenny, so that's one thing that I think Kenny can be proud of. And but not a lot of people probably know Sewer, so
Yeah, Stuart, you want to introduce yourself? Stuart Camp. Well, y'all, y'all know me. I've been around the block.
Sewer, Cam, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, this is my first podcast. Yep. Um,
Where are you
I'm,
from?
I'm from like. Okay. Okay.
What's your credit card number? I want to
No,
know.
no credit card. No, this is definitely not. This is
What's your name?
Josh. You might be going. You might be going. You want. You ready to go?
Yeah, of course. So, no, sewer camp. How long you been in the regiment, brother?
A little
Josh,
while.
Andrew Sarkamp.
Yeah, how long you been in the regiment? Do you know how long you've been in the regiment?
He's been in since October.
Since October.
I thought it was
No.
earlier than that, but that makes sense, I guess.
Really? Yeah, I felt like we've had him for a year already, but
Right.
he's only been here for a couple of months. Um, but yeah, so welcome Sewer Camp. I think Sewer Camp probably joined the Patreon
No, no.
probably.
It says
When did you get Patreon? You got it last month, right? Or like 2 months ago? I think he probably got it in. He probably got into the Patreon the same month he came in, actually. So he's
I
been,
I think that sounds right.
yeah, he's been
yeah.
an early supporter of the regiment. So we appreciate that very much, Sir Camp. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that we've been, some of the events that we've had. Let's go ahead and discuss some of the highlights. Um, I think there's a lot to discuss because I think the last time we were supposed to have a podcast was probably back in November
Right. It's been a
or,
Hmm.
minute.
or
I,
December.
I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't get a brief on today's podcast. I'm not sure what we're talking about. I
Yeah, I got
imagine Elrog might be, or not Elrog. Um,
I got the list
I
right here,
imagine
Ken.
Elrog, but
Yeah, all right, I got the
yeah.
list right here. So why don't we real quickly let me introduce myself because I know a lot of people probably know me. I'm UAV, the manager of this, and joined the regiment in August. Been kind of probably one of the most active members on here, and since I've last been on here, I've made my way into a squad lead position. So I feel like it's been a pretty fun time here. All right, now to get started. On my first things we can discuss, the ARC League, so the Armor Reforger Competitive League, being hosted by is it Dad's Army, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So recently, as you guys all know, we've had our we had a training match versus Elrog and I think some of the free agents that make up the Dad's Army thing. So I guess what is your guys' opinions? Because I was watching and you guys were actually fighting. So let's hear it.
Yeah. Well, I guess Kenny was there. You're right. Kenny, you were there. Sewer Camp was there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Kenny, you want to start out, and then we'll jump over to Sewer Camp.
Actually, I need just a quick second. I'm in the laundry room. Sorry. Like 15 seconds.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, so let's probably start with Sewer Camp for now. So Sewer Camp, how did you like the last PvP we had? How did you like the last the ARCL tournament where what did you do? What was your experience? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Things like that. Sewer Camp.
I can hear him, Warlord. He's
Oh,
talking.
I can't hear him. He probably muted me by accident. Okay, so can you tell him to unmute me if he accidentally muted me?
He can hear you.
Oh, I don't know why I can't hear him.
Whoa.
Are you taking a piss?
No, I'm getting water now.
Okay.
I'm good to go now. I'm good to go.
All right. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, because I can't hear Suricamp, so.
Okay. Yeah, your communication skills.
I don't know why I can't hear him.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything either.
I can hear him just fine. He's talking about how communication kind of went well within the match.
How about now?
There you go. I can hear him now.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good.
Told you he had me.
That's how I was saying. For the ARCL experience, it was pretty good. Only thing I need to work on is my communications with.
I thought communication went well, and I heard you over the radio a couple times, and
Yeah,
I think you did all right.
But he told me that, like, what I need to say to Bart when I was on the.
Right, because you were working with Bart on the Logi team during that match, weren't you?
Yes. And did a couple of supply runs.
Right. How did the match? How did it go when it first started?
Oh,
Both times.
at first we doing pretty well, like first half in the session, but we kind of dropped the ball pretty much.
On the second time, you think?
Second time, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we pretty much dropped.
I had noticed in the second time watching the stream for it that a unit had slipped by and was like right outside that coastal base. I forget what it was, and I don't know if they ever like messed with y'all, but they were kind of camping that area. I think watching for Logi. So, did y'all ever encounter teams up in that area?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you know exactly the coastal bay, or was it something in some other location?
I'm just referring to the coastal base, like on the second time that we did the match. Like we were all trying to fucking go 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 go, and a U.S. team came down like the secondary road, and was kind of camping after the like forward teams had moved on. Um, but
And
yeah,
also, what's his name? had a little trouble was Xavier, right?
Yeah,
Xavier had a little issue, but I think that's pretty much that's it.
it went well on y'all's side. Other than that,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, my experience for the test match that we did, I was pretty out of it. I'm not gonna lie. I was I was kind of hungover,
Yeah, you
and
told us
tired,
about you told us
but
about that. Yeah.
but I think my team did pretty well in both scenarios. We just kind of faltered on defense on that second go round, which was pretty upsetting. Um, how we let such a large force slip through unnoticed.
Yeah.
We only had 4 guys on base, and they had fucking 11 sneak through at an angle nobody was really watching other than Belly. Belly like saw them come through, and he just like he would have died if he engaged them, you know. But it was pretty unfortunate to have that happen and have that little slip up with our team at the end there. I think communication was pretty good throughout, but it was definitely not good at the end there. Like we needed to communicate with each other and say, hey, like I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm being a dumbass or whatever's
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. Like we
Yeah. I
need
know
to
what you mean. I know what you mean.
in scenarios like that, communication needs to be priority and like top notch, and everybody needs to be moving and doing their part. Um, but I didn't have many problems with the match. It was I was watching a road in particular. I was on the defensive assault team, so I was defending that 5th base out of 9 that you have to you only have to capture 5. You just got to hold it for 2 hours. Um, but yeah, I didn't really have many problems, and I didn't see much action. So I was just like holding and defending the road up a ways, and that's pretty much where I was for most of the match. And when things went down at the end, I was not very much help, honestly. But I didn't even know where they were coming through. Comms were a little scrambly, but it is what it is. I think we did pretty well. It's really upsetting how the game crashed on our first go round. We literally
That's
had like
true.
7
Yeah.
of the 9 bases, and I,
That's
I think
true.
we would have. I think we would have held them. We would have had to hold for like an hour and a half, but I think we would have been just fine. It's kind of upsetting, but it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Um. I was looking through mods, and I found few really good ideas for trainings before events. And there's one that I seen is similar to the Ready or Not kind of mod scenario.
I remember you were talking about that last night.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
How's that relevant to the? Do you think that would help us in training for the
well,
RPL
Oh
events?
yeah, it has the same layout.
sewer camp. So sewer camp did a good job at delivering supplies to the
Oh
bases,
yeah, back to back.
along with
Yes.
Bart. I think Bart and sewer camp did their part. They pretty much held on throughout the entirety of the match. The
Kind of
only
an
thing,
unexpected team, but I think y'all did
yeah, no,
do
they
well
did
from what
very
I
well.
hear.
They
Yeah.
did outstanding work. So shout out um to Bart and and Sir Camp on this one. I think you guys just did what you're supposed to do, right? And you stuck to
Yes.
the
Yes.
plan. You delivered, and that's as
But
good as you got. The only thing though is that I think for the most part, that match in itself was supposed to be a win, even though the first time obviously it was a load of shit.
No,
I'm
yeah,
just gonna
yeah,
call it.
yeah, I agree with you.
Just gonna call it out. It was a load of shit. Just how coincidental that we go in and we just ram through the entirety of the map and
it was
capture it.
very it was upsetting. It really
It
was.
It
well,
That
was.
first match we
It
had
was
no
it was
upsetting.
contestation.
just it
You
was
can
just
even see it in the
weird.
stream.
It
They
was just
didn't even expect us to hit that hard. In the second match, they were all on the front
right.
line.
Yeah.
and it's
No, it is. It
damn,
is. It
dude.
is disappointing. It is like I just don't want that to happen again. Because if it
No,
happens again, we will pull out of it. I guarantee we will pull out of that match because then that means there's rigging going on, and there's preferences, and then there's also to where you have you
I
know
wouldn't necessarily go so far as rigging, but
well,
I
I
think it's
mean,
unfortunate. I don't
I
know.
don't know if it really went down or not.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
the technicality of it
Yeah,
all,
I don't
but
know
there
the
was a mod
technicalities
that had
either.
an update and the
But
game and the server crashed, you know?
but then there was like whenever like I was looking through, there was all the servers were up. It was impossible for just that one server to go down and then immediately required to download a mod right after. It just doesn't make any sense to me, right? But
I
anyway,
don't think there was enough things on the map to crash the server. Like
right, there was, of course not. That's what I'm saying. It's just a very improbable situation. Like one
it's
out of
improbable, but I don't think it's impossible. I wouldn't go
definitely
so
not
far as to think they're
impossible,
rigging it.
but it's just very fishy that we so happen to push all the way to the seventh base, and then obviously we had a major advantage because we already had the plan, and unfortunately after the game was restarted, because I think it was restarted, then all of a sudden they know the plan, they know what we were going to do, and then the second time that I came around to start, we were going to repeat the plan again, and they
And we
already knew.
did though.
Yeah,
It sucks that we had to switch sides because that first game we spawned on the side that we knew best, and it was a
yeah,
really great
well,
scenario for us.
and that's fine, that's fine at this point. I
It
just
is, yeah. Like we didn't know what side we were gonna get put on, and we so happened to get the nice one and did great, and then it crashed, and we get the shitty
yeah.
side. You know, it's
Well,
like
it wasn't even like about getting the shitty site, at least to
it
me.
wasn't even a shitty side either. It's just
no,
we had
We
it
studied the
was
pushed
approach of
no,
the
it
southern
wasn't a
approach
we
better.
shitty side
we
at
pushed
all.
up to the coastal base, like
Yeah,
we pushed up to the harbor, and then that's when things started going wrong because then we started having people join late, which was a big issue. That when people join
Very.
late, then they don't know the plan, they don't
didn't
carry on
they?
the plan, and
Didn't
then they
those
start
guys
doing
say
their
they're
own
not
thing.
gonna allow that again either?
What's up?
I thought somebody had stated that the Arkel guys weren't gonna allow or didn't like
That's
that
fine.
people
Yes.
joined late.
Yes. So
I hope
I
so.
me and Jev ended up chatting with them because he and I were watching the match, and they stated that after the test matches that no one will be allowed to join late after I think it was 5 or so minutes.
This
That's fine,
this
that's
brings
good.
up another discussion I wanted to add to this discussion list. The season one match that we're gonna have on March 7th. It's only 10v10. I was wondering, Warlord, if I mean we could discuss this later, but or off the podcast. But I was wondering if you had like a set people you would like to participate in that, or how
Yeah.
you're going to arrange who's going to play in that match. You know,
Well, first we're gonna have to base ourselves off of who can be there, like a guarantee
right,
yes. No wishy-washy maybes. I'm not gonna
right.
include maybes on that. If you're a definite
There's
yes, you're
also
gonna
other factors of like PC players lag less and stuff like that,
get.
but I don't know if you're wanting to go into that
Well,
kind of detail or
this
anything.
this is what I was like mentioning earlier too, is how like what I mentioned about Rumpleton earlier, is how can they get 20 people? How can they be middleweight up to 20 people, and they have less than 160, 170 members on their Discord overall?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It kind of makes sense to me. Less people, it's less people to keep together. Like if somebody, I don't know. When there's so many people like we have, like it's easy for somebody to be less seen and things like that, and it makes it to where our activity drops or it's a potential cause of it. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Yeah. Also, not all of our recruits that I mean, they might recruit more selectively with people that actually hop on multiple a lot, or maybe they kick them out if they're not, active a lot. Whereas some of us, like,
Maybe.
we just kind of let people sit in here and go. Yeah, I was. I mean, I was also. I didn't end up showing up because I had school and I put that priority over anything else at the moment. And you're right. It does kind of suck that we have to sit in the like in the lightweight bracket when we have pulled up 30 people to a PvP before.
And I really think that we're going to be fine getting 20 guys. What's the heavyweight bracket? What's the number there?
I think that's 30v30.
That we can do that. I guarantee you we can do that. We just have to reach out to people and make sure that they're
I mean, to
attending.
reach people ahead of
It's-
time before the
It's about getting people to
event.
want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, like I've been putting a lot of emphasis on the PvPs before the event, and we have one more event coming up, and we're going to be carrying out that event in the next coming weeks. I think our event is going to be on March
7th.
March 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Let me check
Oh.
that.
I think I looked at it today. It might be another day, but I think it's the 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very. I think it's March 7th. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. So since it's March,
Let me check that.
wait.
It would be good to double check that. Yeah.
Yeah, March 7th. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Good. Good.
So, we're definitely gonna have to figure out, like, okay, is this still gonna be on this big ass map, Gogland? Is it gonna be,
I thought that's what they said. I thought it's going to be on Goglin the whole time. I thought.
That's rough. That's rough.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
That's gonna be rough because then you get like a whole entire map just for like,
We'll have to double check. I'm going off of memory. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's no good. So we'll see. But I think it's gonna be Goglin.
yeah. It probably will. I mean, we just got to make sure that if we're doing that TV, that 10v10, like maybe if we manage to get more people into it, then they might get like extras or free agents to try to jump in and help them out, and I'd be cool with that. I'd be completely fine if they can
Right.
get randoms on their side, but not on our side. I really don't want any free agents on our side. Even
Well, we
if
got to
we're
reach out to people now and be like, hey, like on the 7th of March, we're having a 10v10. Like, we need to find our best guys for this. And then for, like, say the heavyweight, we need to reach out early and get people involved early on so that we're not rushing to grab bodies so late into it. We need to have guaranteed yeses, like early on, and be discussing it often.
yeah, we got a whole month to I would probably say half a month to figure this out, and then the other thing is that I think I'll be here on the 7th of March because there's a possibility that the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks I might have to travel for work. So there's a possibility, I might be out for 1 week, but I don't know which of the weeks I will be out. So that's just a possibility. I'm hoping that that does not happen, but if it has to, then I have to go. Um, and we have to figure out, who is going to be, who's going to be doing the training with the guys. I have a couple of ideas on how we should carry out our training. I think the last match that we had, against those guys, I think they played okay. Like I'm not gonna say that, oh, those guys were good because they were not. They were okay. Um, we did better than them in every single aspect, but I think we had a lack of discipline in multiple
Yeah.
situations where we were supposed to. There's people that were supposed to be staying back and holding, and there were supposed to be people that were um, that had specific roles that needed to be fulfilled, and they went off to do other things. You know,
Well, yeah. With that said, what was your perspective on the kind of strategy that we ended up using that me and Belly had discussed the night
yeah.
before?
So I
What was
think
your
this,
perspective on that?
so the strategy went very well the first time before the server got reset. The second time around, the strategy worked out as well.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think the other
It's
side
a good
had
word for
strategy
it.
at all. I don't think they had a strategy, which is pretty sad because they didn't have a strategy.
Yeah.
They didn't have,
And they still fucking won. Yeah.
well,
It's
they
crazy.
won because we started getting
We started
complacent.
slacking
Yeah,
pretty good.
we yeah. So that's why we lost. We lost because the guys that were supposed to be defending were attacking, and then, you know, I don't think
Well,
we
my
understood the
my
severity.
team was defending. Brewhib and Bloody Wolf, they were the only two guys in my team. They were on site,
Yeah.
and I was
Well,
watching the road, and
well.
Belly was the only one from his team that was defending. He was also supposed to be defending, but
So besides that, Kenny, we
it
shouldn't
wasn't
have
enough
lost.
people.
We shouldn't have lost the coastal base.
Yeah.
That was one of the major mistakes that really led to the defeat, was that we somehow fucked up the coastal base, and that was because people started leaving the coastal base and started wanting to go attack instead of staying back and protecting that point, protecting that base. That's all they were supposed to do, right? Because at the end, we weren't necessarily looking for who has the most skills or
Well,
who
I
has
think that
the most.
was the kind of assumption that everyone had was like, because that first match we pushed and we did so well, we pushed them back to their seventh base and we're like working on the eighth when it crashed. And that second go round, like, yeah, I can understand why people were trying to push and that's why we lost, but
I mean,
it
on
all goes down to communication again.
Yeah.
on the
Well,
second half, we kind of had a lot of pressure on us when we start dropping in the ball. On the second half, we kind of had a lot of pressure.
yeah. Well,
We should have never had to defend that fifth base at the end
No,
there.
yeah,
So
no,
I agree.
exactly.
I
So
agree with you, Kenny,
the other
on that
thing,
one.
is that, like we were supposed to have guys protecting it. The only people that were supposed to be going out and attacking, just like when we had the
For
fifth
the
base.
audience perspective, real quick, we're talking about the coastal base and the fifth base, and there's nine bases. There's nine bases total, and the fifth base is that center one that you have to hold for the 2 hours, and that coastal base we're referring to is the one right after it, the sixth one.
Yeah, hold on.
The
Let
thing
me go
about
ahead
that
and take
coastal
a
base
picture.
is like that we need to have guys in that fifth base because there's a lot of like they can do some fuckery and like come behind our lines
When-
and
Yeah.
fuck up our logistics, but
Another thing is that when we get started on March 7th against the who are we facing?
I'm actually not sure on that.
The Resurrect.
Yeah,
We were
so
facing
the
Resurrect.
situation here was that I think this was mainly painting the picture from the south, right? But coming from the
Yeah, yeah.
north, I
I
think
was a green team
we
with.
yeah.
I was with green
So
team with
this
Park.
is yeah. So this is the first base, second base, third base, fourth base, fifth base, and then after that it was the sixth base, which was Kentucky, right? This is the I think this was the coastal base, and so you had
Yeah, the
uh,
Kentucky is actually the coastal base.
yeah, one, two,
Yeah.
three, four, five, fifth base, and so as we make our way to the fifth base, then this was the main point that we were supposed to be protecting, and that was literally the point that we were supposed to be holding. The fifth base, yes, definitely hold the fifth base, but this base right here was just as crucial as the fifth base because if we
You're
lose
talking
this,
about
then
our
we're going to
second
be
match from when we approached from the north.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So coming from the fifth to the sixth base, right?
Yep.
It was just as important. We could not, we had multiple guys that went on to attack this, the next point, which is the
Mhm.
seventh base.
I think
Um,
Suru's racked up some kills there. Wasn't it
yeah,
that base?
yeah. So the last time that I was there, it was Surus and I, and then it was Xavier, and and then next thing you know, I saw um, what's his name? I saw uh,
One of Belly's guys.
Perfect. Yeah, I saw him Perfect Soul push up. I saw Old School push up. I saw
I'm not
John
sure
Jay
what
push up.
team Old School was with,
He was
or
supposed to
John.
be, well, the only people that were supposed to be moving up and pushing up were supposed to be Surus, myself, uh,
Did
So
they
Old School and John both show up late, or were they there on time?
no, they showed up late.
Okay, yeah, so
what?
they
What
should have been
about
put into both assault teams, like Old School, my team, and John, and like they might have just been doing their own thing, you know.
what
Yeah.
about
Well,
Soul? Was he on time or late?
who?
Imperfect Soul.
No, he
Perfect,
was
I
there
think,
on
was
time.
on time. The only
Yeah, he was
people that
there.
showed up late
He
were
was
Old
there.
School,
But
John,
but
and
but what
Cyrus.
we're saying right now is that like you have the situation where we had to have people hold the sixth base, and they got greedy because that's really literally what it was, is they got greedy, and they try to go and take this, the seventh base. And as we were capping the seventh base, and I think we were like halfway capping it, then they pushed up to the fifth base, to the sixth base, and they started capping the sixth base, and they took it much faster because everybody else that was there were just leftovers, and they just completely killed everybody that was there. And then as we were capping the seventh base, they essentially moved. They took the sixth base, and then so the people at the seventh base had to move back, and a lot of them got wiped out because then they started having people spawning on the seventh base and wiping out everybody who was there.
Right.
So there was a lot of people that were there that were not supposed to be there, and if we would have had those individuals back in the sixth base, we wouldn't have lost the sixth base to begin with.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was our fault, and so was the last 10 minutes of the match because we could have held it. We could have also held.
I didn't know any of this was going on.
Yeah, it was
I was
going
doing
on.
my thing at
I
that
knew it
center base.
from the
Yeah,
second half. I knew
it was going on. It was going on big
I
time.
know
They were
from the
still
beginning
fucking
of the
around at our
get.
center base. There was a guy that was there fucking like the whole time, just hiding. Nobody could fucking find him. It
Yeah.
was Hammer.
Hmm.
Was it a hammer? Really?
He was on the enemy team. He showed up to the fifth base, and I remember at one point he was like at that lake area, like on our approach from the north. There's like a lake on the left side of the road, and then there's like a patch of land left of the lake, or the pond or whatever. Um, he was like hiding there in the open for
Oh
for a
my
little bit,
god! Wow.
and he racked up a few kills while he was hiding in the center there, and I think a car or two rolled through as well.
Yeah.
But we didn't see much action until the end of the match where it all got fucked.
Yeah. And also the next time, you know, we also can't be like making or creating last minute plans. Like we need to stick to, if we have a plan, we need to stick to it, because then everybody's got to learn the new plan, and everybody's gonna. It's not good. We
No.
have to stick to a plan, and we have to work this plan out, and we have
My
to.
idea with the new plan that me and Belly had discussed, my idea was to only enact that in the like starting phase and then have like your plan go from there, because the idea that we had was like there's no FIA defending, you cap really fucking quick, so just send one guy to these early bases and then get the assault teams on the front line immediately, like defending that fifth base before we can even cap it, and then from there on, like the plan continue. That was my idea with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the plan was working out and everything was going according to plan until people stopped following the plan.
Yeah.
So we just cannot let that happen again, and we will not let that happen again because that's never going to happen again, hopefully. And the next time that we have these PvP sessions, which I think we should prioritize over anything else of what we're doing. That's my humble opinion is that we should prioritize our standing in competition
I,
because if
I
we're
agree.
not if we're not competitive, if we're not showing everybody else, we're for example, like I see us, joining and playing against randoms, right? And I'm all for it, guys. Like I'm happy, to play with you all and go up against randoms on public matches on pubs and kill these randoms and win games and kick ass and all of that.
Have fun.
But yeah, I mean just having
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
That's
But
what it's all about.
but
When it comes to
you know,
these matches, we gotta. It's
yeah,
not gonna
like
be. It's not gonna be a lot of fun. We just gotta be on point,
It does-
put the pressure on
yeah.
the other team.
Doesn't mean we're not
yeah,
gonna have fun, but
No, no.
yeah,
in
well,
some cases it can be a little more
having
serious. But
like being competitive is one thing, and then having fun is a totally different concept.
Yeah,
I'm all for having fun, but I'm also all about being competitive and like having you guys perform at your best because that's what a leader is supposed to do.
right, I'm not
Like,
saying have fun in the sense of like goof around. I mean, it's a video game, and we're like
yeah,
we're
being
actually having
competitive and
fun playing
serious, and we're
the
I
having
game,
mean,
fun
but
doing
not.
that. You know what I mean?
If it comes to
of
the
course,
competitive matches like this,
yeah.
PvE, there's
So
no
so it's like
fun. There
I
is no
think I
fun
think
in that.
everybody, yeah, no, I think everybody's aware that it is a video game. I think that's something like I wouldn't even I wouldn't even bring that up because it's pretty obvious that we're all in a video game.
Right.
But yeah, it's like yeah, dude, it's a video game. Okay, cool. Like it's of course it's a video game. That's the whole reason and the whole purpose of why we're even a Discord. Like it would be like I think I would start saying it's only a video game, dude. Calm down when I start like threatening people in real life or fucking like trying to say that I'm gonna do this or that to somebody in real life. Then like
I
okay, yeah,
I
dude,
only
it's a fucking
stated
game.
to say like it's a video game. It's not all serious. Like the intention of the video game is to play it and enjoy it.
Well,
You know.
so here's my take on that because then
I'm not saying anything
because
against what you're about to
no,
say.
I,
You know what
I
I
I
mean?
know, but I'm just trying to make sure that not only you understand, but everybody else understands is that the other team, the enemy, the other Discord is probably like, of course they're gonna think it's a video game because it's the whole concept of what we're doing, right? But they're gonna be taking it much more competitive
Seriously?
than
Yeah.
than we are, and so how do we know that the Discord we're going to be playing against isn't training every day on their own server or on the ARCL server just to kick
We
our
don't
ass?
know that.
We don't know that exactly, but one difference is that I have to assume that. I have to assume that. I cannot just say and get complacent and say, yeah, they're probably like us. They probably don't practice that much. They probably don't take it that serious. And then next thing you know, we're getting fucking swept and wrecked. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be on the other end of getting swept and getting wrecked and getting humiliated.
I completely agree with you, but on the other hand of that is like it is just a video game, and there's more to life than just everyday like practicing hard, competitively serious for this. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I think it all
I'm
comes
all
down to
about like I do think we need to increase our training, that for sure, and our
well,
attendance to those trainings way more than increasing the frequency of them. You know,
well then
but
then I think then you start getting into like an a particular ontological perspective as to like, okay, well, it's an opinion, right? It's an opinion, and I think we all have different opinions about these sorts of things.
Right.
And you know, for some, it basically comes down to mindset. It's like, okay, so what's your mindset behind this? Like, what's your mindset behind playing in a competitive league? Like, what is the purpose of it? Like, if we just
To
want to have fun,
win.
exactly. I mean, I just don't see like I don't want to be like if it wasn't about being competitive, I would probably not even like want to. I would probably not even want to be part of it, honestly. If it's all about having fun, like don't include me. I'm
Well, winning is having fun, Warlord. The
Exactly.
important thing here is that, like, if we lose, we don't want it to be a double negative saying, let's say, like, we lost and, oh, we didn't have fun. Like, it,
I
yeah,
I,
yeah, of course
I
it's
you're
going
agree.
to
gonna
be
I
have
fun
fun
agree.
either
I
way,
agree.
regardless. You're gonna
I
have fun
agree with you
regardless
on
when
that
you
one,
win or
Kenny.
lose. But I think that getting to the point of okay, we're all a unit. Like if it was me by myself and I'm like playing against another guy, competitively, like 1v1, like I'm probably gonna have a lot more fun doing that. But if I'm with a team and then like we're supposed to be coordinating, we're supposed to have all of these different attributes that make up a unit, that make up a team, that make up a Discord, that that we all create plans and we carry out those plans and we want to make the experience for our guys to be as competitively as possible, and also I think just provide an even more immersive experience for a lot of our guys. And I'm not saying like, oh yeah, just because I played Arma, that means I can go out and fucking go on the trench line in Ukraine and kill Russians. Of course not.
yeah, no.
That's definitely not the case here. The case here is in this particular niche, in this particular category, in this particular um, you know industry, whatever you want to call it, of competitiveness. Can we excel? Can we be the best? And if we don't aim to be the best, then what's the point?
Right.
That's my point of view on it. Others probably going to say, well, dude, it's just about having fun. And that's all that matters. Like, okay.
I'm not saying that's all that matters. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Well, I'm not saying you're saying that.
I mean, it
Well,
could
I'm
be
not saying
any.
that
I
you're
mean, it could
saying
be anybody.
that.
I mean, it could be anybody having fun.
Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody have fun. What I'm saying though is that sewer camp is gay. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. I figured you're gonna fucking say that.
Real quickly, I kind of want to provide some perspective from my angle on just from watching it. I know I've kind of let you guys ramble on because I wasn't there. So I wasn't in like the trenches or whatever. But I was watching, and
That's why we lost, right, Warlord? Because UAV wasn't there.
yeah, I would have joined, but I figured like if we're not going to do this in actual match, why do it now? No need to pull some weird BS. Anyway, so when I started, you guys had started. When I started watching, you guys had started your assault on D. If I'm looking at this map here, correct? And you guys were holding it, and then you guys started to send people up to C. And honestly, it was a great watch. Like you guys were in control. Like it was definitely obvious. Like you guys had this match in your control, and
By the
then
balls.
shit started to hit the
And
fan. You started falling back. Like you had them. It was at one point you had like half of their team on point E, and they didn't even have access to it. Like you guys were doing, and they were just stuck there. So you guys were doing like really good job of like controlling that. Supplies were being controlled. Everything was going well. And the biggest issue, and I'm sure you guys talked about it, was you guys were clumped up way too much in certain spots. There was multiple times outside of E.
We didn't discuss that, but there was the time, like at the end of the match there, where we were all like, there was a lot of us like on the road. I had been there for quite a while, but a lot of people had joined me because it started to get more action, and that was problematic in that scenario. But
yeah, I can name 2 instances. One of them was just more of an accidental thing, and it didn't really affect anyone, but it was like kind of showing signs where there was like 5 guys within like a 50-meter radius, and it was like, why? You guys should be pushing forward and doing that. And the worst part, and I think the worst part is that if it wasn't the fact that you guys were clumped up. Because being clumped up works in certain manners, right? Especially when you're defending a base, like you need people on that base and you need people in close proximity. It was that people were clumped up, like outside of the base where they weren't gonna do anything, and that ended up killing the match where you had not 8, but it was like 5 of their guys walk through this like one unguarded area. And Belly was the only one that was able to do anything.
It was 11 people total that slipped through right there, UAV.
And well, the first group was 5, Kenny.
Yeah.
The first
I'm talking about like everybody that had slipped through that.
Yeah.
And including Hammer, who was on base. It was 10 or 11 guys total. It was like, damn. Dude.
And once those first 5 got in, that's when the shit started.
It was over with, pretty much.
Yeah. And Belly, obviously, I talked to him. He said he couldn't see anything watching the clips. Like it was fine. Like, but the trade-off was.
Belly saw them when they were coming.
No, he knew they were there. He just didn't. He couldn't have an angle on him. He heard him walking. So the thing was just like, the trade-off wasn't good. You guys probably lost like 4 or 5 guys trying to stop that push, and then you only killed 1 as a trade-off. Like in that first initial.
Well, Brewhib and Wolf were like in separate structures, defending those structures, and they were in good positions, but like I would have rathered at this point they be on the wall, and I had not been checking my map. Like I was pretty focused on the road. And
I think the thing was just like we had way too many people on that.
I did a lot of things wrong in that
game. We had way too many people on that main road. There should have really only been like 1 or 2. John was doing a good job because he stopped the Vic. And
I stopped like 3 or 4 vehicles.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, there's time to learn from our mistakes, and obviously that was one of the things that we could have. That we learned a mistake from.
I should have been one of the only guys on the road there. Like there was like 5 of us total. I know Warlord was ahead of me. And that was fine because he was giving me call outs, and if he missed something, I got it.
And something I also saw him utilize that I think I really only saw Surus utilize was they were using that like side. So I don't know. I can't really like use my cursor to kind of point. But there is a road, if you zoom in on E, there's like a road to the north of it that connects to that east side main road that heads straight to D. They were utilizing that a lot. And I think maybe because I had bad angles, but I only really saw Surus using that. Which I also
that's the road I was guarding, and I was like just in front of that curve. I was on the Florida side of that road, that Lyra side. That's the 5th base. Like Warlord, I think was around the curve when he had joined in the defense.
I'm talking about there's like it's
that main road that curves and goes.
No.
You said it goes east to D.
That east main road.
Yeah, that's the road I was
defending.
The road?
Okay.
It's just I was in front of that curve, like on the red arrow.
I thought so from looking at the video, it looked like you guys were defending the road, the west side, that west side road with the curve. I didn't, at least from my angle.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
I'm talking about the east side. Arrow. Oh yeah, I'm talking about the east side.
Okay, yeah.
That one is the one, and they
That's how they slip through.
They drove vehicles up that road, got out of the vehicles, walked
That's where their
to where
infantry came from. Yeah.
walked where that blue arrow was, and then got into the base. And it was
That's
just
that blue arrow is like their exact fucking approach vector, actually.
Is it possible to zoom in a little more on this photo, Warlord, or whoever's sharing it?
Yeah.
I'm personally zooming in.
Could you
for
zoom
it.
in around that blue arrow by E, that one that's south of it?
But yeah, that last vehicle that Warlord called out, I feel like shit, dude, because I almost fired, and then my fucking screen lagged, and like when the lag went away quicker than I
Perfect.
thought it would, and I turned around and I shot him, but I shot him in the ass,
He's
so
talking about
he didn't die.
the blue
Motherfucker got out
arrow
and
to
killed me.
E from E.
So if you look, so yeah, majority of people, that group of 5 were just here on we're on the red and the blue arrows, and then they had pushed like on this road that's on the east side, like that eastern road. Either some of them had pushed north up the way and like made their way on like a small dirt road that's to the north of the base. Some had just walked, and it was that final push that really like just sealed the deal. And there's really nothing else
Yeah,
to
it
this.
was over with when that team of 5 got through,
Yeah,
and
and there's
then that guy that I
They didn't even
fucking
use
missed.
vehicles. They just got there on foot.
no, they drove. I watched them drive
From
from Missouri to Florida.
so they went from this road.
Yeah. Okay. So So here, follow the road. I'll tell you where they got out of their vehicles real quick. Start at Missouri
Yeah, so they went from here.
and about to stop. Maybe back a little bit more. But right where it starts to hit that 45-degree angle on that road. Yeah, probably about there is when they ditched and walked.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Because, like I said, that blue arrow right there pointing at Florida, that's pretty much their exact approach vector. I wanted to say, but
that is pretty much their
They
exact
had a
actions.
few
Yeah.
units come
Yeah.
from this road, but it wasn't that many. It was like a couple.
I took out like 3 or 4 vehicles, and then there was
Yeah.
that one that you called out, the guy that fucking killed me, and I could never get back on base.
I
And
took out.
I
I
never
took
knew where
out
the targets were
Hungry
on
right
base.
here, and then I took out
There was a
another one
lot of
over
action
here,
right there at the end of the game.
and then we took out another one over here. But then that one somehow, like the driver, I shot 2 rockets at it.
Who's in the minigun? That was one of us, right?
No, I think it was an enemy vehicle.
Yeah, that was an enemy Vic. I don't think the Russian side has access to a minigun on a vehicle.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Something that I want to take great note of this. There was no major heavy vehicles in this fight whatsoever.
Yeah.
I was
Compared to
surprised by that.
compared to our PvPs, and this is the
But
exact.
because I couldn't rank up. Like because I was one of the first ones to rush up. Like obviously
Everybody
I
was constantly asking who's had what rank, and
yeah.
yeah.
If I could have at least gotten somebody to spawn me a fucking VDV with a turret on it, I would have
BDSM.
I would have
Yeah.
been just wrecking people with that thing.
Match would have been a completely different story if there was vehicles involved. And you're right, that rank issue is one of the things, and something that they were talking about in the from the like Arc League guys. When they were talking about like their heavyweight matches, they said they had people specifically ranking up so that they could spawn stuff. Like they had specific people for that. And that's just because they have more members and they can allow to do that. Now, obviously, when we go into lightweight, it's probably going to be only one guy running supplies the entire time. Maybe 2 if you want to forfeit that. But it's also going to be our better guys that are more well-equipped and know what they're doing and can do things more efficiently. Like if Esso was still around, like he would be probably doing supplies to a great extent.
I agree with you. If Elsa was there,
Young Gunner as
he
well
will
would
get
do
his shit.
pretty good.
He will
I
get
think.
shit done.
I also want to also somewhat think that the lightweight match is a great opportunity for us to actually get some practice in against each other, we'll
I think
have
the
that.
lightweight's going to be harder than we think it's going to be.
Yeah, and going up against each other is gonna like solidify like who because we'll have the numbers to simulate a 10v10 essentially.
Well,
Yeah, for
the
sure.
other
I think
thing
every training should be that
the
way.
other thing with that is that I think we're gonna have to like I think we're gonna have to each so one thing is for sure, like each side when we're playing those 10v10s, each side has to have one leader, like by default. One person's gotta take charge and that person
Ano- I think we should also include, like, every time we train, the 10 people that are going to be playing the match should be on the same side. I see we're connecting right now. Ruh-roh.
Uh,
What was that?
Warlord, you there?
Warlord.
Okay. So whoever's gonna be taking charge of either side, like it's gotta be someone that wants to be a leader, not someone who's like forced to be a leader. So
Right.
that's
Did you hear
something
what
that
I
I
said,
definitely want
Warlord?
to do. No, I didn't.
I was saying I think for every time that we train, we should have the 10 guys that are playing the match be on the same side and fighting people that are not going to be in the match. But those other 10 people that aren't going to be in the match, they'll be in the next 20v20
Yeah,
match,
yeah, we
That
can
I
work
think we should
something out.
train that way specifically.
Yeah, no, we can work something out, to include that. And then also, each like we got to know who the leader is going to be in advance, and that person's going to be a definite yes, whoever's going to be leading that other faction. And then on top of that, that leader has to have their own plan, and they got to have a plan really well structured out, just like we have one here, just like I came up with one, just like you guys came up with one. Is that if you're on the other side, if you're going to be leading a faction, then you need to have a plan ready, and you need to be relay that plan. And you need to be able to make decisions and make decisions on the spot, and discuss those situations with your team, with your faction.
And
So
not divulge them to the other team if you're referring to the trainings.
yeah, of course. Well, the point is that I'm trying to make is that the definitely the one leader has to have that plan ready to go, ready to roll out. And as we're going on, like we'll have one faction leader have their own plan, and we'll have the other faction leader do their own plan. And then based off of how the plan goes for each of the factions, then we'll pick out the best plan, like or we'll merge both plans together,
Right.
and then we'll essentially pick out the best of both worlds from each of the factions and see what worked. Maybe this plan worked out initially on counterattacks, but then this plan worked out initially at the beginning and pushing forth and doing more of a blitzkrieg um, attack on the enemy. And
If
so
that's the basis on how you want to do this, then I guess it doesn't really matter who's on what team, because it might be good to have people from each side with like separate plans if the plans are merged to like pick and choose who is going to be in the 10v10. I didn't really say that well, but you know what I mean?
yeah, no, I get
Okay.
what you're trying to say, but
Yeah,
overall,
yeah.
I think that's something that we would definitely be needing to do, because like I can come up with this plan, and this plan came up, I came up with it that last time, but I think there's other ways to manipulate or to modify the plan so that we can get something that's even better and that's going to actually work out in the next PvP that we're going to be doing. So,
Yeah, and we're gonna have to adapt. Like if we show up with the same plan every time, um,
oh yeah, we're going to have
they're
to change it, obviously.
they're
That
gonna.
we, yeah,
I
yeah, because
imagine in later fights, like people will have studied our match or our past matches, and we're gonna have to anticipate that.
yeah, it's a high probability that'll happen. But anyway, I think that's all that we have for now. I appreciate you guys showing up and being here and just
Wrapping
being
it
part of
up.
the podcast.
Yep.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap up since we've got about 10 seconds left before we got the final um, final wrap up. So I don't know if you want to share any last thoughts or words, Sewer Camp or Kenny.
I'm just excited to see how this goes in the
Yeah, I pretty
Arkell
much agree with Kenny on that
tournament.
on that thing and on that tournament, March 7th, and we gotta be on our pretty much our fucking A game, not fucking around, and show who we are.
You damn right.
But
We gonna
being
show
the
'em.
regiment,
You
we
damn
are the
right.
fucking regiment. We gotta show who's boss.
They're
You
not gonna see it
goddamn
coming,
right.
are they?
Huh?
Oh, and another thing, that that tournament before us, that JTF 626, was that the same group we guys faced the last time, or was it a
We
different
did face
group?
them, didn't we?
Who?
626
Oh
Warlord.
yeah, 626. Yeah.
Yeah.
But was that a
We should have a watch
JTF?
party when they do that live. We should host a watch party and watch the match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I
I'll
agree on that. Let's do the watch party and
uh,
see
Might be
how the
fun.
626 do. If they fuck it up, we're gonna see how we learn from them. You know.
Could
And
be
yeah,
fun.
go
Could be
ahead and put
fun.
that on the Discord and the chatter for the watch party on I think we're facing. I think they're facing. Where they face? Who they facing?
Well, on that, I kind of guess on that kind of watch party topic, I guess we could discuss something else. Something I've been meaning to discuss, and I think I'll discuss in the leadership meeting later tonight. We should really find a way that we can get someone to edit and post stuff as like advertisement. And real quickly, and I wanted to kind of just discuss, and I kind of wanted to ask what your guys' opinions were on it as of right now. So, Kenny, how would you feel about finding someone in our regiment, or finding someone to like do advertisement for us?
I think that would be awesome. I know we were discussing the other night about some of the passions that I kind of had. I thought it would be cool to like get somebody to make a video within the regiment, like fully scripted, and there's like a screenplay, and you just do some shit in Game Master, with like a select crew, and we could make a really cool promotional video for the regiment. I think that'd be fucking awesome. I'd love
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
to discuss that.
yeah,
I think
I
it's a
know
great
exactly what
idea
you're talking
to
about, Kenny.
start advertising.
You told me something about yesterday that I was recruiting somebody, right? Did you mention something about that?
Hold on one sec, sir. Kenny, where did Warlord go?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. He may have ended it. Do we know?
I don't know. Did he end it or it crashed?
I think he left.
I'm not sure what's
I don't
going on.
know. Hold on.
Let's give it a minute, and if he's not back, we could continue for a quick second. Let me DM him.
You mentioned about me recruiting
Lost connection.
somebody, Kenny.
Oh, there we go.
There he is.
There he is.
Warlord.
What the
Yo.
fuck?
Lost connection.
Ruh-roh.
Let me guess. Crashed again?
Yep.
Like typical
Classic
with your
fucking
ex.
Arma community, man. You're playing Arma, you're crashing in Arma, you're crashing in the fucking podcast.
It's always that.
Bohemia.
Always.
Tell you. Okay. Well, so yeah, we'll have to find somebody. I mean,
I'd love to be involved with it. I
it's
think we
all
should do
about-
it like within our group.
Yeah. Well, it's all about finding someone who's talented and who's going to be willing and able to do something like that. Because
I agree.
unfortunately,
I'm
we
right
get a lot of
here.
people that
No,
unfortunately we get a lot of people that say yes and not enough people
Yeah.
to commit. So I
Yeah,
think that whoever is interested in doing it, then I would be very very happy if we can find some people
it
to
would be
start
very
taking over
cool.
some of the responsibilities that I know I can't 100% be there for, at least for the meantime. But I would definitely love for somebody to whoever's got time and can have that effort put in, like I'd be 100% supportive of that.
Yeah,
I'm always very supportive of you guys.
Yeah, but then again, it's like, okay, you're the if you're I think you're already doing a big part if you're already part of the Patreon, because you're supporting and you're helping us use all these tools. You're helping us use, you're helping us pay for the server. You're helping us, and then again, also for UAV, Kenny, Sewer Camp, you guys that are already Patreon, I think you guys should encourage other members that are obviously, maybe they want to make missions, or maybe they want to make their own scenarios, or maybe they want to participate in the podcast, maybe they want to just have different ways of supporting. Then that's going to be something that we're going to be highly encouraging, um, for us to keep growing the Patreon. I think that's something that's very important, and it should be important for the longevity of the regiment and the stability wise. I mean, some of the tools that we're using, some of the automations that are already in place, and so on. um, so let's keep the game going. Let's keep the ball moving. I'm going to be reaching out to I've already reached out to a couple of other discords to see if we can get some PvP sessions going, and we're probably going to get something here soon, so at least we can practice and we can have some fun. um, but in the meantime, I think that's all that we have, right, UAV?
Yeah, I actually have real quickly I have one question. We do our this is I usually want to do these a little earlier, but we got our podcast question segment, and I got one question from Optic here. And his question is he wants, well, not really a question. He wants to compare and contrast the different vehicles from the American and Soviet side. And then I guess here's the actual question: what is the best objective to fight on in Legacy Eberron?
that's probably very debatable. That second part.
Very debatable.
So I
Probably
guess
Andre do.
That's the like basic like I think that's the one that gets fought over like the
Yeah.
most, I would say. But the best, what do you mean by the best objective?
I guess probably
Like
the
the
most
most
entertaining.
fun?
Probably the most
Right.
entertaining. Yeah.
It's Andre.
I
Yeah, I was about to say I already know Warlord's answer.
I wouldn't say Entree is the most entertaining. I would say it's the most fought over.
Yeah.
But
The most.
as for entertainment goes, probably Chotane for me.
Yeah, I would say
Or Levy.
Shotane, Levy,
Hospital
Morton.
maybe.
more than any of those
Morton.
like purple objectives, and even though we don't do
Morton's
it a
less
lot,
on the list for me.
Lamentin. Lamentin's
That was
fun
the
to fight
least
at.
prevalent.
Yeah.
It's just out there. It's hard to get back to, and when you're kind of defending it, you're just kind of in the rush there, and it's
It's not a
definitely a
common objective.
really fun objective. Lamentin's at the top
I
of my
love a
list
good
for-
Chotane defense. And assault, really. Chotane's fun.
Well, I just don't like that it's surrounded by hills, and
That
just
brings some adaptation and some challenge.
just like just like
Assaulting or
base
defending.
levy. It's like you always got snipers on the hills, or you got people just shooting rockets into the base. And
Right.
John.
especially if you're in the base, if you're attacking the base, yeah, it's pretty fun. But if you're defending it, it's a pain in the ass.
Good question though.
Yeah, good question from Optic. And then I guess that first part of the question, real quickly, I guess we gotta like probably a little bit more, but just compare and contrast the American versus Russian vehicles. Like, I guess, what would you say the best light vehicle setup is? We'll kind of go down the list here. What's your
Like
yeah,
modded or unmodded?
unmodded. So like it
Dude,
would
I
be
love the 50 Jeep.
yeah,
I
the
will
Jeep and
solo
the
the 50
Humvee.
Jeep every day. Like I'll drive if I see a target on the road, I'll literally just look up and hop on the 50. And I'll light them up. It's great. It's also very effective when you're working with a team.
Like
I love going down paths and shit. So
light vehicles, or you
Yeah,
mean
yeah, like light
with light
vehicles,
armor?
gunned or ungunned.
Not light armor, right?
Not light armor. No, that'll be next.
Okay.
Humvee's my favorite, but then
Humvee is
50
the
Jeep.
goat.
Yeah, obviously. Or the for me
50
it's the
Jeep
medical
solo.
band. The
The
medical band. The
medical.
Russian medical band.
Yeah, the Russian one specifically.
If you had to choose, if you're to defend a decision, you'd say the American ones has more of an edge over the Russian light vehicles. This is all personal opinion.
Just because of the 50 cal on the Humvee, yes, but other than
The
that,
Russian Vics are faster, but
Yeah, I
and
think
obviously the Humvees are just better armored, and to a sense, because but then again, you know, just one RPG is all it takes to take out a fucking Humvee.
mhm,
If, you know, if it hit in the right spot and
yeah.
everybody in it.
yeah. I was gonna ask about the trucks, but I think we all have the same collective opinion on which trucks are better.
Yeah,
The Russian
the
trucks.
U.S.
The
trucks fucking
Ural is
suck.
just five
Yeah.
times better than the American. It goes so much faster. It goes uphill faster. The
Yeah.
only thing I notice is it's a weaker structure, and the American truck will take a better hit from an RPG than the Russian truck
yeah.
will.
Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the question is, do you really want the I guess the downside of being slower and everything? And then I guess the last two, I guess, is armor and the helicopters. I would argue that the Huey is the best in the game. Yes, you
For
can only
sure.
carry
Probably
minimal
so.
rockets, but you can move so quickly with those. And then
So
the
quickly.
LAV is just so much better.
It is better in terms of firepower, but in terms of, you know,
It
you
is
can get
weaker.
in and out and like size.
Isn't the LAV weaker than the BTR?
I think it's about the same armor
Yeah, it's about the
penetration
same.
wise.
Okay.
So the for me the BRDM is probably um, you know, probably one of my favorites. I like the LAV if I'm on the US side, but it's like it's a really big target, so just about anything can hit it.
Yeah.
But then the
And the
BRDM is,
BDRM arguably is more maneuverable as
yeah, more
well, I'd say.
maneuverable, smaller. It's a smaller target,
It's
and
easier
you
to
can
take out
literally hide
anti-air.
somewhere. Yeah, it's. I mean, you can use it for both, right? Just like you can with the LAV too. Um,
I'd argue the BDRM's better suited for anti-air than the LAV, but yeah.
well, the main gun though for the LAV does outmatch um, any armor and
Yeah.
most armor, and then also the helicopters as well.
I don't know. I don't do a whole lot of armor, so I can't really speak in that sense, but
Yeah, no, it's just they're just it's just much more maneuverable. It's a smaller target, and you know you can literally ride around the map without much of an issue or getting spotted that easily. So at least that's what I like about it, rather than the LAV. And I don't, and it's also not as loud as the LAV because the LAV is really loud, and you can
yeah.
hear it from a mile away. But the BRDM, you can't tell the difference sometimes between a BRDM
A
or a
PKM
BTR.
Jeep. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Sometimes I do confuse a PKM and a BTR or BDRM, but if I hear it a lot, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not a fucking PKM.
I
Yeah,
think
I mean it has a distinct sound to it, like the sound of the like
Yeah.
I have all the not I have probably 90 something percent of the trucks, the Humvees, the UAZs, the Urals, the BTRs, the BRDMs, the like the LAVs and like the helicopters, the Russian. Like I can differentiate, like I can hear it from a distance, and I already know what kind of
With
vehicle it
most
is.
things, I can too, but it's like specifically the PKM and the BTRs and BDRMs. Like if they do like a burst, I can get confused, you know. But
Oh,
if they're
just by the
firing
sound
a
of the
lot,
engine, though.
I'm like,
Just by
yeah.
the sound of the engine, you can.
I'm talking about like distant gunshots, like you can't
Oh.
hear the vehicle.
No, because the gunshots from the BRDM. on the 12.7 millimeter rounds.
Yeah.
They're basically the same guns that you have on the MG Nest. So even if
Yeah.
they shoot from a distance, you can't tell the difference whether it's an armored unit or whether it's a machine gun nest. So the really differentiator is the engine that you can hear from a distance. So if you hear the engine and the BRDM and the BTR have distinct engine sounds.
We had a match like 2 days ago where I got confused. We were playing the Russians, and I had just woken up. It's like 6 a.m. and Cyrus and like Belly and a couple other people are still on, and they're in this like 7 hour fucking match. Um, but I went to reinforce Chotain, and there was a Humvee on the road, and I didn't have a clue what the fuck it was. I was confused for a minute, but
Yeah. The only hard thing about the sounds is with the mods because some of the vehicles that are modded will have like for example some of the like one or two of the Russian vehicles that are the modded versions of them will have a sound like it'll have a Humvee sound, or some of the vehicles from the NATO side that are supposed to be heavy vehicles have the same sound of the engine as a Humvee.
right.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's how they are. Probably because they just added that same sound into that vehicle, even though like it
Yeah.
makes sense, like why you would want to have that same sound. Why not? Why no? Obviously, they probably don't have the tools, or they probably don't have the ability to go out and get a sound for that vehicle. Running at different speeds, possibly, just like Bohemia does. Because
Yeah.
Bohemia probably does. They probably go up to vehicles and then they probably record the sounds of them. With those things that they have. It's like a stick, and it's got like a huge microphone in it, and it picks up all the sound from
Boomstick.
vehicles. Yeah, and then they put that into the game.
I guess that's really it.
Yeah, yeah.
Warlord, you want to conclude?
Yeah, just again, just appreciate you guys. I think we had a lot of fun on this podcast. I really hope we can get some more people later on. Let's try to get some more guys into our into the Patreon podcast and see if we can get eventually maybe we can get Bart, and maybe we can get
Oh,
Jet
Bart
back
would
on.
be fun.
Oh
Right.
yeah, Bart would be fun on him.
Yeah, let's try to get them all on the Patreon, and
Yeah.
let's see if we can get you know Slabby or Sabausta, like all these
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
What about Sirius? He will enjoy this podcast a
Sirius is
lot.
Patreon already.
Sirius has been on here once or
Yeah.
Oh, he
twice before.
has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to message him, see if he still wanted to join, but he said he was busy.
Tough.
But in other terms, next time we have a podcast, I think we're probably gonna have our first guest member. Optic said he was interested in it, and I didn't check my messages, which is why the podcast question was kind of late. So, Ward, if you want to discuss that next time we do, I would love to have another podcast and within the next 2 or 3 weeks, if that's possible. Try and actually do what I always wanted to do earlier and have more of these.
Yes, we can probably do
Yeah.
the 22nd, or if I'm around, I'll join the 22nd. February's only got what 28 days in it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so the
Yeah, it
22nd.
only has 28 days.
The last podcast though, it had like 70 views on it, so compared to the other one that had 13, so the last podcast we
Cool.
went
Cool.
pretty well. So the viewership keeps growing. The YouTube channel is already at 290 something.
Awesome.
Um, so
Awesome.
let's keep up the good work, boys. Let's get more content out there. I'm gonna try to get some more videos and create some more videos for us. It's just that it's really time consuming. Um,
It's gonna be if we do it like for real as well.
yeah,
If we do a promotional video, I think it's going to be worth it, and it's going to be a fun process if that's something that we
Yeah.
actually do.
Yeah, we just need somebody to, help out on it. So, but anyway, that's all. That's all for now. Appreciate you guys showing up and being here again. So we'll catch up next time, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast.